You guys know that there's a trend encouraging men to all get passports and travel abroad. It's not just for sights or good food. No. It's to find wives, to find women who are more traditional. They're traveling all across the world just to find women who are more humble, more feminine, and willing to treat their men better than women in the US. Traveling to places like Italy, Thailand, Brazil, just to find women who will treat them right. The Passport Bros ideology is that they're escaping the hatred of feminist women and are traveling somewhere they can thrive. They believe the ideology that by seeking foreign women, they can find a more authentic, fulfilling, and harmonious relationship. This is seen as a way to restore the natural balance between masculine and feminine energy. This is triggering some women because they think that these men are interested in finding these women. They think they will be more submissive. I'm not sure if this trend / movement is going to end or only get worse. What do you guys think?
Passport Bros are a full movement now. American men with American passports booking American flights to anywhere that isn't America. And American women are losing their minds because the leverage they thought was permanent turned out to have a flight schedule attached to it. Let's discuss the boarding passes.
Why American men don't want to date American women anymore. A little disclaimer, I do live in the US for the past 7 years. 1. Some American men feel that American women are very entitled. They feel that many American women expect a partner who fit a specific ideal. He has to be smart, attractive, successful, fit. They believe that many American women have unrealistic expectations. They expect their partners to do everything, and they expect their partners to put their needs above their own. 2, because of the rise of radical feminism, there is a loss of femininity among American women, and they even started to adopt some masculine traits. 3, opportunistic behavior. A big percentage of divorces are initiated by women, and usually it's because they prioritize their career and personal growth over their family life. And a lot of men also express some frustration because they feel that there is a lack of commitment and loyalty among American women. And that is why a lot of American men are now dating non-American women, because they believe that non-American women tend to prioritize mutual respect, shared values, and commitment.
This is a huge reason why men love foreign women. Foreign women, unlike Western women, are actually taught from a young age on how to treat men properly. Western culture, women are raised with entitlement, and they're only taught on what to expect from men, not on how they should treat men. Men are only taught on how to treat women, but not on what they should expect in return from women.
A passport bro isn't running from something. He's running to something. Specifically, to women who still know how to be feminine, who know how to cook, who don't bring a 6-page checklist to a first date. The demand exists. The supply just isn't in America anymore.
You think Asian women are going to go 50-50 with you on the bill?
No, we date traditionally, which means if I invite the girl out, I plan and pay for the date. The catch is the cost of living is often 1/4 the price overseas, so even if we pay for the whole date, we're still paying less than what we would have paid 50-50. And this is a point that I don't think it's talked about enough when it comes to Passport Bros. It's not just dating, it's cost of living, it's rent, it's gym, it's food, it's everything, and it increases the quality of your life. At the end of the day, it's a men's health movement about doing what's best for you. It takes one US remote job and the courage to leave to experience all of that, plus a dating culture that is a lot less toxic.
A lot of people, not just men, come to the Philippines so that they can experience our values and morals, especially a culture that's beyond money and privilege. So why are these women shocked that they're dating us? Is it because you think you're better than us? Because a belief that someone's worth is measured by their financial status or societal privilege is for shallow-minded people that only has that to offer.
The fury is specific. She's not mad that men are dating. She's mad that men are dating someone who isn't her, and who isn't paid the same as her, and who still appreciates being provided for. Those three things combined are apparently an international incident.
Can we have a serious conversation about the LBH's passport bros, like whatever you want to call them. I just don't understand how the most basic level men can leave America, travel to these other countries, and just pull absolute tens, like the hottest girls that you will ever see. And these men, like men that we wouldn't even look twice at, are just pulling them and convincing them to date them. Like, I truly don't understand it. Can someone please explain to me how this is happening and how these men are able to get away with it? Also, like, how can we stop this? It's out of control, and it's getting to a point where it needs to be stopped.
Why Eastern European women are better than American women. I lived in Poland and Ukraine, and first off, the girls are just much less overweight. A lot of them are in shape or otherwise thin. Okay, and they're wearing makeup and high heels out in public even when they go to the grocery store. Whereas American women are typically wearing sweatpants and eating fast food. Now, internally, they're just a lot more feminine. They're a lot more sweet, more respectful. They play less games. Okay, they're less flaky. And they're not fronting and putting themselves on a pedestal trying to act like they're better than you. Okay, so internally and externally, they just blow American girls out of the water. Now, to grab my best converting Tinder opener for free, you can check out the link in the bio.
The comparison is brutal and public. He posts a side-by-side. Left, American, first date, she's on her phone, ordered the expensive item, no eye contact. Right, Medellin, first date, she made him dinner, asked about his family, laughed at his jokes, same man, same budget, radically different product. The market spoke.
It may be legal to go to another country and offer a poor woman who has few options and who may even be in danger in her home country an out. And she might readily accept that because perhaps being with you and sleeping with you is better than the destitution and destruction she's living in. But that doesn't mean that what you're doing is ethical. Not only is there a consent issue when it comes to this idea, though, I also think that there is a inherent abusive underbelly to it, because the freak men who do seek out these power imbalances are doing that for a reason. It's not just that they cannot attract other women in their countries, likely due to some kind of character deficiencies that they have. It's also because they want relationship dynamics where they can be in control and they can manipulate someone.
Why everybody's telling this about Russian women? I'm Russian, but I don't expect flowers for the first date. I think it's kind of weird. I don't know why other bloggers are saying that Russian woman expects flowers for the first date. I think it's even creepy. I'm Russian and I'm not a gold digger. This one is kind of tough because this word is used to insult people, insult women for their desire to be a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home wife. Well, I'm not. I never been one. I've grown 2 businesses from the ground, and one of them almost got 7-figure revenue. And I also grown social media business, which is my other account for 140,000 followers, which was stolen. It became my full-time income because I wanted to take a break, and I made myself this job. But that doesn't mean that I'm gonna choose a partner who doesn't have money. Of course, I'm gonna choose a partner, a strong man. Women are programmed to choose strong men. No, why should I choose somebody who cannot afford their own live? Like, why should any woman choose a guy without money? If he cannot make money in America, where money is literally everywhere, then why would I want to have such partner and give him kids to make more people that cannot be sustainable in life? That's against human development and against any kind of progress and evolution. Does it make me gold digger? If yes, okay, then I'm a gold digger.
She's only with him for the visa. That's the cope. Maybe, sometimes. But she's also cooking, cleaning, raising his kids, and treating him like the head of the house. American women were doing none of those things and still charging premium prices. The gold digger accusation is coming from inside the house.
This one's for the men who just say they've given up on Western women and are going to go abroad for a woman. I understand some of your frustrations, but if you're going to be a passport bro, there are certain downsides. First of all, you have no idea if this woman is using you for a visa or your money. You're not going to be able to have fun banter with her. She might be more feminine, but she might not feel like your best friend. She might feel more like a maid service. Number 2, you're definitely going to run into some cultural differences. Is she going to be willing to give up her family, her friends, her career just to come to the States for you? You guys are also going to run into the issue of where to live. Or are you willing to move there? Passport broing is a cop-out for something that can be easily solved.
I've gotten way more attention when I've moved back to Miami than I was in Colombia. Crazy. I'm like, you would think that I'm a foreigner in Colombia, girls are going to be treating me differently. But I think it's been opposite. If you make yourself stand out as a man, I think you might have more leverage in America. I really think so. The problem that I was seeing in Colombia was you're a foreigner. So women have an incentive to maybe act a certain way towards you. I think when you are a foreigner in these countries, a lot of girls have game too, bro. They think it's just Western girls. Bro, these girls, they know that you want to come there and get a girl who doesn't understand how life works. So they have game. Like a lot of girls are not like that anymore.
So they'll front to be this innocent, like traditional thing, and really they're not. It's just the game up front.
Exactly. And I think guys think, oh, I'm gonna just go to these countries and I'm gonna just find a traditional woman. I think you have to make your woman. The girls who are okay with letting that happen are the girls who are gonna get the most from men.
The success stories are stacking up. Married 7 years, kids, happy, stable home. Nobody left for a yoga instructor. Nobody filed for 50%. Nobody weaponized the children. Just a man and a wife running a family the way it was supposed to work. The scandal is that it works.
So I saw a video about this passport bro guy on Instagram, right? Showing like a little vlog of him taking his girlfriend out on a date. He started off the video by taking out like $80. He was showing how he's spoiling his girlfriend, right? Like he got her like a lash service and like nails. And then he said, oh, I'm gonna test her after I did all this for her, to taking her on a date to 7-Eleven. She's like, oh, I love it. You do so much already for me. And inside the 7-Eleven was like actually like a restaurant, like a club inside. And it was like a cute little club. My thing is, I commented this on my video. I'm like, and also he spent $80 on a date, like $80. Like, come on. And I commented, oh, I get all this from men in the US and Miami. Like, you guys are just broke and don't date beneath your means in the United States. So you guys go to other countries to be able to afford the women that you want to date instead of working hard to afford the women you want to date in the United States, right? As you guys can expect, so many men got mad at me. Are we surprised that they got so emotional? My point is, and you're never going to change my mind about this, currency for women is looks and beauty, and currency for men is regular currency, like money. The society that men built for us, doesn't matter if a woman doesn't have any money, but if she's pretty, she's gonna be able to get ahead in life, right? But if a man is ugly and he works hard and he has money, he's gonna be able to get ahead in life, like finding a wife. So instead of this man working harder to afford the woman that he wants to have in the United States, he cheapened out. He went the cheap route and then went to another country to find a girlfriend, which is totally fine for him, right? The thing is, the men in the comments were coming at me for saying that I expect this kind of stuff for men in the United States. This girl and I are the same thing. She's expecting nice things too. She expects her man to pay for her lashes, nails, get her flowers, take her on amazing dates. The only difference between her and I, or women in the United States and her, is that these men are able to afford her. They don't have an issue with her wanting those things. They have an issue with the fact that they can't afford it in the United States, but they can cheapen out and do it in other countries. They were calling me all these slurs, saying that I'm an HOE, that I'm a gold digger. When her and I date the same. We date the same type of men that we want providers, do things for us, like taking us to nice dinners, pay for our nails, like take care of us and be a provider. But you guys are mad at me because you can't afford it in the United States, but you are able to do it in Thailand or Vietnam, right? Like $80 is not a lot of money. $80 is what I spent on like a lazy Wednesday night where like my mom and I are like, hey, do you want to go get some tacos and like margaritas or something? And we go and spend $100 on this. Like we're going in sweatpants and like a t-shirt. Like that's like $80 is like, it's not like a big thing. It might be a big thing for you, but for a lot of people in the United States, it's kind of an average, regular meal out. It's not like a big fancy meal. They're not going over there to date women that are working hard and paying 50-50 and they're like manteniéndolos a ellos. They're going over there to do the same things they would do in America, but they can't afford it, so they go to another country to do it. So I don't understand why I'm a gold digger and why women in the United States are gold diggers. They want the same things. It's just that you are able to afford it there and you're not able to afford it here. Imagine if a conventionally unattractive American woman was saying, oh, I can't find a good looking man to want to date me, so I'm gonna go to another country and I'm gonna pay him to go out on dates with me and whatever. You guys would be coming at for that woman saying she can't find nobody in the United States who she can't afford, and because she's not pretty, she's not a conventionally attractive woman. So just admit that you're broke and you guys can't afford to date the types of women you want to date here, because I'm sure there's a lot of women would date you that would probably split bills with you, but that they're not as attractive as you might want them to be. But it's because you're not able to afford really attractive women. So the problem isn't women in the West are asking for too much, is that you're not able to afford it, so you go do the same exact things that women in the West are asking for and do it in a price that you are able to afford. And just admit that women in the West don't have a problem with you doing whatever you want to do, because we're not looking to date broke bums. But just admit that you're doing the same shit you would do if you were actually rich in the United States. You're doing it in another country just because you can't afford it here.
The warnings get creative. She'll leave him once she gets her green card. Maybe, sometimes. But American women leave at 50% rates after 20 years and no green card is involved. The failure rate is already worse here. Men compared the numbers. The foreign option won.
As women get more successful, that dating pool shrinks. And there's good men out there. They are out there. They're amazing men. My best guy friends are my biggest fucking cheerleaders. But God, that pool shrinks of men that are comfortable with a very, successful, self-assured woman who could walk out the door at any point in time.
I hear so many people say dating is so hard these days, and you want to know why it's so hard? Being a successful, independent, strong woman with a purpose and a passion and a great career and everything, your dating pool just shrinks like this. Like you start out like this and it just keeps shrinking. There are women out there who are beautiful, have the brains, have drive, have purpose, have passion, have intelligence, they're smart, they're beautiful, they've got everything, the whole package, right? The whole package. And this is not knocking other women. I love, girls support girls always. But if a woman has the whole entire package, a lot of men are threatened by that. A lot of men want to feel superior, whether that's they have a better career or they make more money or they're prettier or whatever it is, they want to feel superior in something. Not all men, but a lot of men. What this then does is it just shrinks your dating pool. It's not to say that it's non-existent, it's just very, very small compared to other people's dating pools. There is nothing wrong with that. It just means that maybe dating apps aren't going to work for you. Maybe it's going to take a little bit longer, but that's okay because you have high standards, and so you should have high standards. It's not that there's no one out there, you're just refining your dating pool. So you're kind of just filtering out all the guys that just can't deal with successful women pretty much. You should never dim your light for a guy. There is someone out there for you. It's just taking a little bit longer, but just think of it as it's refining the process. Your dating pool is just shrinking, and that's not really a bad thing.
Every man on a plane is one less man in the bar. Multiply that by the thousands flying out weekly. The pool isn't shrinking, it's hemorrhaging, and the women who contaminated it are now complaining about the water level. The boat left, they're still on the dock.
If American men stay any longer in the States, they will be lonely forever. Girls are getting stricter and stricter every single day. You heard of this movement, no ring, no thing? Oh, they're not gonna even have sex with you before marriage, let alone before you spend some on them. And you have two choices here, right? You don't want to jerk off till the day you die. So you either raise your standard and improve financial situation, or you can go to other countries. For example, top choice, Russia, Ukraine. Think about it, we have wars, we have crises all the fucking time. Who dies first, man? Probably best time for you to swoop in and wipe someone up. They have standards too, but they will go way easier on you than American girls. Oh my god. They just want a gentleman with 7 digits. It's not a rocket science.
Colombia, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Poland, Ukraine, Colombia again. The list grows monthly. Men aren't hiding it. They're posting flight itineraries. They're doing YouTube channels about it. They're documenting a cultural shift, and nobody is stopping them because nobody has the standing to.
I think it's worth digging deeper into these kinds of things. I made a video where I said a lot of men will dismiss their partners when they bring up things like safety concerns, like, hey, can you cut the grapes for the kids? Or, oh, we don't do that because that's not safe sleep, whatever it is. And their partner comes to them and says, it's fine. Oftentimes these men will say, your standards are too high, you're too anxious, you're overprotective, like all of these things that dismiss women and not only their concern, but also their education and informed choices about parenting. But I also think there's another layer to this, which is there's a large conversation that goes on about how men are less risk averse than mothers, especially in parenting, right? Dads are more willing to let their kids take risks. And one of the reasons they're more willing to take those risks is because they are judged less harshly. If a mom lets her kid climb on top of a play structure and they fall off and break their arm, she will be judged very, very harshly for that. A man will not be. It's the same way when I drop my daughter off at daycare. If I don't brush her hair or put her in a cute little outfit, I will be judged for that. My husband will not be. They will laugh it off and say that's just dad being dad, right? And this is true of so many things in parenting. There are many double standards when it comes to men and women and how we view them. And so men are willing to be more risk averse because they're just not held to the same standards and judgment. When a kid is sick, the doctor expects mom to know all of the symptoms, but they wouldn't expect dad to. And so if that is what we're working within, of course, women's standards are much higher.
The standards in American dating hit a point of mathematical impossibility. Top 5% looks, top 5% height, top 5% income, top 5% emotional availability. That's the top 0.00625% of men. And she's competing against every other woman also looking for that man. Men did the math. Men boarded planes.
An important issue for me because I've been living in London for 10 years. I've also lived in multiple other countries around the world. Never before have I felt as unsafe as I do now. When I walk down the street, I'm increasingly being leered at. I'm increasingly being followed like I'm going around the souks of Morocco. And it's not visibly to me anyway, people who are born and bred here. It isn't. You know, it's very difficult because we're not allowed to talk about it because, oh my gosh, you know, that breaks taboo. Oh, you know, you're a racist if you say this. I'm sorry. A lot of women going about their daily business feel that their safety is being directly threatened by people who are coming from different cultures. And this needs to be discussed because I've had enough. All my other female friends have had enough. When I put this stuff online, the number of comments online from other women saying they've had enough and saying thank you for talking about this. Was it not enough when we noticed what was going on with grooming gangs? Was it not enough when we see what's happened to the victim of Abdullah Zaidi? When are we going to have the conversation that women's safety is being mortgaged at the altar of mass immigration and this faux political correctness?
The biggest reason that I know that white feminism is a real problem is just the perceived threat that so many white women feel from black women just existing. Before I continue, I'm going to reference myself as attractive. Yes, I know, shocker. I did this before and y'all got on my ass. I don't know what to say, we're gonna keep doing it. But as a black woman, when you transition from unattractive to being perceived as attractive, you will notice a change in behavior from not only men, but also women, specifically white women. Especially when you don't fit a certain stereotype that they associate with your race and what they deem a black woman should act like. It's almost like they don't know how to act with you and they end up, feeling this contempt. They implicitly know that they are the standard. They have been socialized to know that. It's been their experience to have men want them of any race. But in that, they also know that whiteness is sort of blankness. And I actually don't mean that in a mean way. I mean, it is the standard. It's the norm. It is the opposite of exoticism. So in their male-centered minds, they're thinking, yeah, in majority of cases, I'm going to get the guy. But when they want a little switch up, a change from their usual, that is when women of color, specifically black women, become a big threat. It's a lot of them sort of know that a lot of girls look like them. A lot of pretty girls look like them. They can never account for the allure of a deviation from that norm. So when they see an attractive black woman, it's okay, I have to see, how can I fight against this? I don't have the facilities to fight against this. And to compensate for that, I think that's why we see a lot of white women try to play into the features of women of color. The style, the slick backs, the lip filler, aneurysms, all of it. They want to be able to oscillate between all types of attractiveness, become this sort of maxed out woman who has every single thing a guy could ever want at any time. Because they are so used to being the standard, they cannot accept someone wanting something different. So they kind of try to borrow parts of you to become that so that won't happen again. It's very interesting and it happens more than you would think.
rare, honest moment. I can't compete with a woman who genuinely wants to make me dinner. That's the whole game in one sentence. She's not competing with beauty. She's competing with willingness. Willingness to be a partner rather than a project. And she doesn't have any.
There's this old fart that keeps like spamming photos of him and his Southeast Asian wife and my photos to kind of like discredit what I'm saying about the male loneliness epidemic. But mind you, he's actually proving it. He's proving it correct, because refer to my first video, like my first pin video, where we talk about who will be men's next victims, and a lot of the commenters, which are true, say impoverished women. And I know a little bit about this because I am Southeast Asian, and that's a whole nother topic that this video isn't about. But what I find really funny about these white men passport bros that are dealing with loneliness, that go to these Asian countries to go find like a submissive wife, meanwhile it's all an act, because in about 20 years these women are going to secure their new life in America. They're going to secure maybe 2 Asian children with this man. As soon as they find another Asian man that they like more, oh, it's done. It's done. It's donezo. We've seen this countless of times before, and no matter how many times these passport bros try to like disprove what I'm saying by showing their Southeast Asian wife, babe, she's playing you. She is playing you. And that's my sister. Like, I stand by her. That's my sister.
Why are many American men no longer interested in American women? If you were to interview 100 men about their perceptions of American women, approximately 90% would give negative responses. Listen to this man.
American women didn't want me, so I came to the jungles of Latin America, met the real Pocahontas, and got a woman that looks way better than any of these salty girls going to be commenting on this Instagram post. And I'm teaching all my brothers, if you're not being appreciated in your home country, the problem probably isn't you. You need to get your passport. And even though these American women didn't want me, believe me, the feeling was mutual. Because when I could have this right here, why on earth would I want an American woman? Get your passport, please.
Possible reasons for American men being less interested in American women could include 1. Changing social dynamics. 2. Increased exposure to diverse cultures. 3. Shifting expectations in relationships. 4. Influence of media and societal norms. 5. Personal preferences and individual experiences. What else do you think could be the problem?
The numbers are serious. Millions of American men actively pursuing relationships abroad. Communities, forums, meetups, YouTube channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. This isn't fringe. This is mainstream. This is the new normal for a specific demographic of men who ran out of reasons to stay.
Men really struggle to leave a woman who really needs him, okay? A woman who is constantly trying to show that she can do everything by herself, she doesn't really need anyone, she's mega independent and so on. And yes, I have huge respect to these women, I'm one of those women, yes, but you do not need to emphasize that to your man. Your man wants to feel needed, and that's when he struggles to leave you.
Most women might not even realize that they're pushing their man away until it's too late, until he's gone. Here's how you notice. It's not always cheating that drives men out. It's disrespect, constant negativity, emasculinizing him, belittling him, and making him feel like no matter what he does, it's never enough. When men feel drained instead of inspired, they don't explode. They retreat. They stop opening up. They stop putting in effort. They stop fighting for the relationship. And then the women play the victim, acting blindsided when he finally leaves. But the truth is, you created an environment where he couldn't thrive, where his presence felt like a burden instead of a blessing. And men will not stay where they feel unvalued, unseen, unappreciated. So if your man is pulling away, stop pointing the finger at him and look in the mirror. You might be the reason. Respect him, admire him, build him up instead of tearing him down, because the moment he realizes peace exists without you, he'll never come back. And that's a hard truth most women don't want to hear.
The begging started. Quietly, then publicly. Come back, we'll do better, we promise. The men reading this are in Cartagena, with a woman who's making them empanadas. They're not coming back. The empanadas are excellent.
Some passport bros are in my comments saying they don't feel bad for Thai women being abused by their new husbands because they knew exactly what they signed up for. So I'm going to tell you the story of a Thai woman I know who married one of these guys and what happened to her. So she met this passport bro on Tinder. He asked her out. She didn't speak any English and he didn't speak any Thai, but they used Google Translate and she thought he was cute and she was like, yeah, I'll go out with you. So they go out on a date. He thinks she's pretty. She thinks he's cute. He wines and dines her. He goes all out, takes her on a bunch of dates. He tells her sweet stuff like he'll always take care of her. She never has to worry about anything again for the rest of her life. He's 17 years older. She calls him an uncle, but a cute uncle. So eventually, after 6 months, he asks her to marry him and move back to the US with him. They have some discussions about what that will look like because she's like, I worry about my parents. They're very poor. I help support them with money. He's like, I got you. I'll send them this amount per month. She's like, what will we do when we get to the US? He's like, I have a house. You can stay there. I just want you to take care of the house. I'll make all the money. You don't have to worry about anything. She says, okay. They get married in Phuket, and eventually after her green card clears, they move to the US. Once she gets to the US, everything changes. She arrives there and her husband starts working long hours every single day. He's gone from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and when he gets home, he doesn't want to do anything because he says he's tired. Also, she can't drive because she doesn't have a driver's license, so she can't leave the house by herself. When she asks him about getting a driver's license, he's like, nah, I'm not going to let you do that. He claimed it was too dangerous. But the one thing he does do is put her in English courses so he can understand her better. Unfortunately, because she can't leave the house, she has no friends in the USA. Her husband's gone all day. She gets severely depressed and it is incredibly hard for her to focus on learning English. Her husband watches her fall into this depression but does not care at all. He doesn't change his work schedule. He doesn't try to facilitate her making new Thai friends. He doesn't help with anything. He just expects all the house chores get done. Next, when it comes to money, she asks, hey, can I have some money? And he says, for what? He won't give her anything. He's like, you don't need to leave the house. Why would you need money? He's like, I'll just pay for you every time we leave the house together. And then if he ever comes home and finds that something isn't clean or his clothes aren't folded like he asked, he goes into a fit of rage and she is scared of him. He also goes back on sending her parents money and refuses to. Luckily, she eventually gets a job and they eventually have kids together, but she has to get a job now, take care of the kids and take care of the house, and he doesn't help her a single bit. He literally tells her, I pay the rent, so why should I have to do anything around the house? Eventually, she wants to leave, but she can't find her passport, finds out her husband locked it in the safe. But even if she wanted to go home, she wouldn't have the funds or the credit card or anything to do it. She told me if she knew that's what was gonna happen when she got to the USA, that she would be so powerless and couldn't even leave her house, she never would have married a passport bro. So I don't want to hear that they know exactly what they're getting into because you guys lie. The good news is eventually that guy did let her get a driver's license. Eventually we got to be friends. Eventually she started working at a Thai restaurant and got to make more Thai friends, and things turned out okay because eventually he died. But that entire marriage, she told me he just treated her exactly like a servant. And I know I'm going to get the comments that not all passport bros are like that, and I know that. But if you really love your wife, why wouldn't you be upset that other women are being treated like that? Because it happens every single day. So for the Thai ladies, if you're thinking of marrying a passport bro, this is what I'd like to ask you. Are you comfortable with this man being in control of every asset of your life? Because he will be over there. If you think there's even a remote chance he could act like that, please don't move to the USA with him. Stay in Thailand. You will be isolated from all your family, your friends, your language, your communication, everything. Is he actually wealthy or just Asia wealthy? Ask him what state he's from, see the median salary there, and if it doesn't match it, just know that you're not going to be wealthy in that state. He's probably going to make you get a job, or he's just not going to give you any spending money, period. Ask him about finances and what he thinks about them. Just please make sure you marry someone kind. Okay, love you.
The passport bros aren't a trend. They're a migration. And like every migration in history, it happens because the place people are leaving got worse and the place they're going got better. The exit is voluntary, the door is not closing, and the women standing in the airport watching the planes take off are standing there alone. Your passport is your power. Consider using it.
Thanks for watching Male Imperium. Please show us your love by subscribing to the channel using the bell icon. We're also up for debate and some healthy banter, so don't forget to comment under the video.